Mayor Lewis, where to begin with this guy? Constantly awful at his job? Not even a good politician? Well, I have a whole 7+ minutes of this to explain to you all, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Mayor Lewis has been the only mayor of Stardew Valley in recent times, in-game over 20 years. In fact, he states this, as well as that no one runs against him. But of course, why does no one run against him? Surely there should be some option for one of the villagers who would wish to have control by running shops such as Pierre, Clint, Harvey, or even especially Morris, the Joja Corp manager, to run against him if they see he's doing an awful job at running Stardew, which he obviously is. Or for some option for the player to run against him in the future. But the issue is that nobody has. And if nobody has before the player arrived, are there even elections in all? It gets deeper that Lewis might just be a dictator for his own benefit, and therefore he has decided to basically just ban all elections. Nobody brings it up due to fear of either their business being shut or being evicted themselves by Mayor Lewis's control over the town, which might be interesting. This is most likely from a shady relationship with every other government in the valley. He is also very clearly favors Joja within the town, as if you choose to buy membership, he feels no regret whatsoever having the community center demolished and replaced by a Joja warehouse, which we'll get back into later. And he also feels no regard that Pierre's business is at a standstill and doesn't assist with any helping of any other local business. Now, what about the crop box of taxes? Mayor Lewis is obviously taking a cut of the profit from the crop box, perhaps selling the crops for cheaper outside of Stardew, or just having them sold at ridiculously low prices elsewhere, deliberately to give a farmer the lower cut of the profit than what he returns. It thus allows him to fund his own projects, such as the gold statue. The golden statue, once you get the secret note for it, allows you to find it behind his house, a secret project of sorts that he's probably been working on, or hiding on, for a while, maybe an unveiling of the town square, or something of the sort, which is really narcissistic of him to do, but again, is totally Mayor Lewis. Now, first question is, where did he, and how did he, get this much gold to build a life-like statue of himself, and who did it? Well, it's probably that he used embezzled taxes from the town to fund the buying of enough gold off of Clint, or from another mine, to make it. Maybe even having another villager make it for him, such as Clint. Now, after the player discovers it, they can either pick it up and keep it on their farm, which I prefer to do, or they can place it in the town, which results in suspicious behavior from the NPCs. And after the second day, it's stolen by Marnie or Lewis, where it's placed in one of their houses. But we'll get back to that relationship later. And finally, we have the most suspicious thing that Mayor Lewis might own, the pass-out switch. A device that Mayor Lewis is rumored to have acquired, which would make the player, and the majority of the town, excluding the medical professional, an adventurer, a wizard, and Linus, of course. Maybe this is to do with some sort of control thing outside game mechanics, where Lewis deliberately has it so he can do things that he wouldn't do during the day, such as making of his statue shady business deals and enforcing his no election policy, as well as crushing dissent. To most players, most know that Lewis and Marnie have some sort of relationship, unless you've been under a rock while playing Stardew. Lewis, very evidently, has been keeping this relationship secret from the town or over the period, and he admits it in the bush cutscene where you have the option to shell the town, thus losing friendship with Lewis, or keeping it safe and gaining friendship. This obviously knows that they're in love, but why is Mayor Lewis keeping it hidden when there's so many examples of him having personal displays of affection, such as buying Marnie drinks, dancing with her in the saloon, and that he literally sleeps in a room on some days, as well as the bush cutscene. Now, my question is, why is Lewis so reluctant to tell the town of their relationship, let alone get married? Now, I think this has a way darker side, that there's something going on between them. Either they have a legitimate child within the town, maybe even Jazz. Mayor Lewis is worried about losing reputation, but what reputation does he have to lose with this situation? Wouldn't it be the town supportive of some sort of union? Which then gets it to the point of, why are they not already married? Is the town playing so much influence that they oppose Lewis and Marnie being together that much? Now, this could be either to do with previous beef between them, or because of one of them being divorced in the past. The community center very obviously has not seen much activities in the year before the player arrives, and Mayor Lewis chooses nothing to influence its rebuilding until the player chooses to do so by completing the bundles, or the player buying Joja membership, resulting in Mayor Lewis selling the community center to Joja. There's very evidently a choice that Mayor Lewis sides more towards Joja, especially due to that he's Mayor of Pelican Town. He though cooperates with the corporation against the will of the town. and even leading back to the possibility that Mayor Lewis sold off the school in Stardew to have it demolished to build the Joja store, which I link back into my video about Linus. I like about it a lot, you should go watch it. Now, about Joja. Well, the corporation definitely plays influence within the town, and one of the ways I believe that it maintains that influence is through bribing Mayor Lewis, of course. Other than him choosing to save the abandoned community center, which may be personal. Another thing to this is the state of deterioration of the community center, and that Mayor Lewis has been the mayor of Pelican Town for over 20 years. He may have been responsible for the community center's own abandonment by removing community control, going from a lively community-run government place to Mayor Lewis running the town from his own home, possibly tying into how there are no elections whatsoever in Stardew. Gameplay, as they can influence the players' friendships, and Mayor Lewis seems to play no little part in the influence of these fairs on the town, and they could honestly be seen as his way of portraying Stardew Valley in a good light for others in the region, such as the governor during the luau. Now this could be seen as some good old fun between the governor and the mayor, maybe a good friendship, or the mayor almost trying to assert control and give good marks to the governor to get maybe a promotion to some other government job. All the festivals are controlled by the mayor, and they're scheduled very rigorously by him, and therefore meaning that he has complete control over what the town does at any given moment. Now, the whole issue is that he has near complete control, no elections, and many other reasons that I've listed earlier. Probably explain why he's got friends in very high places within the Ferngill Republic government, which we actually don't know a lot about. And probably explains why he always gets good ratings with the governor. These governments have some major influence in the ways Mayor Lewis runs Pelican Town, and due to that there's little to discussion at all, as I previously mentioned, how Ferngill's government works, it can influence how there's possibly that Ferngill is either a dictatorship or an oligarchy. And Mayor Lewis is just an influential individual with his stability, therefore explaining why there are no elections, and it's just himself putting him forward for bribes or opinions from the main government. Meaning, he doesn't actually have to be a good mayor. He's just choosing to be an awful one, because he can get the money from it anyways. Well, these points above, yeah, they kind of reach me to the conclusion that Lewis is just inherently ruining Stardew Valley for his own benefit. Agree with me or disagree? Send your opinion in the comments below. Otherwise, consider subscribing, as, well, I make some quality content. Well, yeah, enjoy. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. This was the Penguin Corporation. Goodbye.